press the E button. Okay. Is it work?
The what button? Oh, I thought.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Are you talking to people watching your stream?
I'm talking to people watching the stream.
You have people who watch your streams?
Be right with you. I said I'll be right with you.
Oh yeah, that's how you fucking do it. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. It is your favourite engineer. I'm back for another week. Amongst other things, I'm back to work. I've got my drink with me today. You're probably thinking, it's not, what did you think? It's not a bottle of piss. It is a bottle of orange juice. That was a little bit earlier. That was about 30 minutes ago. That was full. I've just been exercising. I've just had a shower. I'm clean. I smell good. I don't smell like you, Visky. How are you? How you doing, Michi? I'm... yeah. Hip hop, beep up. Dance till you drop. How you doing? You good? Having a good day so far? I forget how much I like orange juice. So we're gonna do a couple of things, jump into Reddit, answer a couple of questions. We're gonna have a look at some games that I am looking forward to, seeing your reaction to it, seeing my reaction to it as well. Visky has shown me some games already, and I just want to show you guys as well. I got something that's really quite cool that goes on my new uniform. I have a new uniform for work. It's still, you know, top, not this colour grey, but a darker colour grey. You'll catch me in it one episode or two, you know, because sometimes on a Friday I just don't bother getting undressed at my uniform. So you'll see me in it a couple of times. It's because the reason that I've gone for a different type of uniform is nothing's changed up workers per se. It's all because it's bloody hot outside and it's hot in customers' addresses, and the workshops they give me are quite thick. They're this lighter grey. Michi just cooked the most beautiful fajitas. I'm guessing you meant fajitas. I bet you did. I bet she did, actually. She's definitely getting into the woman vibe of things. Then we're gonna, after we've had a look at all that, we're gonna play a game, and we're gonna chat about my first console, my first PC. We're also gonna play a game, which I've namely called Guess That BP. Basically, you got to guess two numbers of systolic and dystolic of my blood pressure and my pulse rate, okay? And the winner gets a prize. Do you want to know what the prize is? You'll find out if you stick around, okay? So, you know, and she used your kitchen. Did you clean it before or after? No, I'm only winding you up. I'm also going to give you a proper review of the wristwatch that I've got. The Huawei wrist, the Huawei Tech 9, I think it is. I can't remember exactly what it is. I'll give you a proper review. Neither. I'm lazy. I'm kidding. And for a bargain price of £30, well, you should pick it up. Also, some good things about it, some bad things about it. Yeah. This is where I think I'm going to be kind of leading stuff in future, is to kind of do a little bit more product reviews on here that I've been using for a week, or, you know, service reviews and stuff like that, because you guys out there, you know, yes, you can use a service and things like that, but if you hear it from an engineer where I'll break down everything, great. Okay. Other than that, got any questions for me? Pop them in the chat. Just there. You see, Just chat right here, right there, right here, right here. You know, this is where you guys are. Okay. If you got any questions for me, or if you want to answer the question that I've put in the stream chat, what was your first computer game or online game experience? Now, I've probably spoken about this. My first online experience. Oh my good God. Now, my first game, actually, let's start with my first PC. My first actual Windows PC was a 486 PC. Very old, very... I mean, hang on. Let me have a look up the specs, actually. And it's a Packard Bell. It was a Packard Bell 486. Okay. Oh, here we go. Here we go. And bring the desktop live up. So basically, PCs used to look like this, okay? And I remember my PC looking pretty much like what this is. Pretty much like it. Yeah, the Packard Bell. This is the BIOS screen. Yeah, it was one of these. We did actually have a CD player, a CD drive, okay, and a floppy disk drive. I remember these buttons. That was the reset. That's the power button, and it was a ball mouse. My first computer game was Sonic 1, and my first online was Halo. Halo 2, I'm guessing, Michi? No? Yeah? So, my first PC, Halo 1. You couldn't play that online. Oh, wait, hang on. You were born 2000 something, weren't you? And it came out in 2001. But Halo 1 never played online. It was Halo 2 was the first online game for... Well, one of the first online Halo games for Xbox. Yeah. You were 1993. She's 2003. Isn't she? Anyway. Going back to the Packard Bell. This was it. Oh, right. You're not Michi. Right. You're sorry. Yeah, sorry. I should really read the fucking chat, shouldn't I, before I react to it. I was 1993. Yeah, I'm not Michi. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Halo. That would have been Halo 2. Then, not Halo 1, because Halo 1 never had online play. It had split screenplay. Yeah, split screenplay. And, you know, if you remember Halo 2 lobbies, you'll probably remember this screen, okay? All right. These screens, because these were Halo 2 lobbies. All right. This was the game that you could just sit. They're pretty. They were very pretty back then. You could sit in a lobby for hours. Oh, General Keyed. I thought so. You could sit in a lobby. I used to sit in a lobby with oh god, Azrael, I think his name was, and I know his name is Martin now. And we used to just sit there and chat. And even if we didn't chat, we were doing something else. I can't remember exactly what it was. It was like, back then, it was like today's Discord was the Halo 2 lobby. You could just sit there and just chat. I mean, oh my god, the amount of time. And you had a headset as well that was wired to the controller, and the controller was wired to the Xbox, so it wouldn't switch off after 10 minutes. And it wouldn't switch off after 10 minutes. And that is pretty much it. You would be sat there for hours on end just chatting. I mean, you could even... I mean, it's a bit like Discord these days, where you can be in a room with someone, right? On Discord. Sorry, I've got a bit of runny nose. I think it's the hay fever. Where you could just be sat in the room with someone on Discord, and you wouldn't say a thing for nearly an hour. You'd be doing your thing, they'll be doing their own thing. Or you'd be watching something together. Now, back then, you know, you wouldn't be watching stuff together on the internet. Or you could be watching stuff on the internet. Depending on your broadband speeds. Bear in mind, this was broadband, not really fibre to the cabinet back then when this was out. So, maximum potential speeds for normal general broadband was around 12 megabits a second. Which was quick back then. Today, it's fucking slow, as we know. But then fiber to the cabinet came out, which was up to 80 megabits, well, 79.99, and now we got fiber to the home, which is up to currently 2.6 gigs if you can, depending on your provider. But no, we used to, I don't know about you, but we used to sit in these lobbies. Halo was the Discord that came with the game. Yeah, it was, Yuri. It was just the Discord. And I was just saying that. You could sit in these lobbies pre-game. And if someone had a headset, you know, you'd have that little symbol that on that picture there. But yeah, it was great. And I'm hoping that the next Halo game they give out, they release, is going to have more of a social aspect to it, because I don't know if you remember, but I remember clans as well, and I remember hanging out with my clans as well, and it was brilliant. The clan I was connected to. Oh, Yuri, yeah, good to see you as well. Stick around. We've got a couple of things to, we've got a couple of games to play as well. Called, there's a game at about 9:30ish we'll be playing called Guess My BP and Guess My Pulse Rate, okay? And there are prizes to win. You'll find out at 9:30, which is an hour and 15 minutes away. But going back to these lobbies, I wish that the next Halo game would have like clans and things like that, because you could set up with clans. You could go. You'd have, it's like another separate friends list. You'd have your mains friends list that you can jump into and jump to their, custom games, But you'd also have your clan list, and you can jump into their games. And you could send messages to your clan, and it was brilliant. You're speaking interesting words, Streamer Man. Thank you very much. I remember being in a clan called Halo Fight Club. Now, when Halo 2 came out, when was it? I can't remember when Halo 2. I think it's 2004, wasn't it? Yeah. Oh, God, yes. I remember this. Oh, yeah. Okay. I remember when this came out. Oh, gosh. Because I remember this now. Yeah. I collected this game in Worthing, in town near me, at the midnight launch. And first rule of Fight Club, you don't talk about Fight Club. No, but the actual Halo Fight Club clan, I wonder if it's still around. I don't think so. Halo Wars 2 Fight Club, Halo Wars 2 a clan, Epics. There's quite a few things. And it was brilliant. I absolutely loved the thingies. And there is somewhere on my videos very, very old footage of me, in a death match with another 4 players on Lockout, with my clan, and it was fucking brilliant. I fucking loved it. But then again, I'm thinking about games these days where you got the new Halo Infinite. It's not new. It's been out since 2021, 2020, around there. 2020. And was it 2021? And, you jump into a game and you look at the list and you're thinking to yourself, which mode should I play? Should I play big team battle? Should I play skirmish and all that lot? And I'm thinking about it just now. Big Team Battle was 8v8, which was 16 players. And now that I think 8v8, I'm thinking that's not Big Team. It's like, 12v12 and Halo Infinite. Or 128 versus 128. 64 versus 64, I should say. So, yeah, I mean, I wonder, and I hope that they'll bring it back. But going back to what I was talking about, my first PC was the Packard Bell 486. Compared to what we've got these days, I mean, chipset, we don't worry about the chipset because it wasn't standards back then. Pin grid array, I remember pin grid arrays. AMD have just stepped away from them recently on the most recent updates of what do you call it? AMD AM5, I think they are now. Form sector speeds. So these would be the speeds of which the sockets were. So you'd have 25, 33, and 50 megahertz. I had a 33. Excuse me, my nose is really playing up. I do apologise. Cache, obviously, you know, RAM size. Now this is where it really 64 megabytes. Not gigabytes that I've got in this system here. Megabytes. Sounds ridiculous, doesn't it, really? But yeah, drivers, you'd have Windows 3.1 on there. I had 3.11 on mine. And this is the system I played my first ever, what do you call it? Pokemon game. And it's Pokemon Red. Because I had a system. I had a emulator called Nesticle, which you can actually play on here. Does anyone remember Nesticle? Yes, this is it. So, if you remember Nesticle, you'll probably will recognise this when I load it up. It'll take a few minutes to load up. But this is going to the Internet Archive. Now, this is a great website. I use quite a fair bit. It's great for little games such as this, and it will just load it in the browser. So I'm going to leave that to load in the browser. Okay, but yeah, I do miss the whole, what do you call it? Oh, I need to burp. Excuse me. Hang on. Excuse me. And I do miss the whole lobbies. This is why I'm often finding myself jumping back into Halo Infinite and playing stuff down the microphone like
Lizard,
or
Germany.
Or
I sat down in a weird position and just
or even
in my computer chair. It's so frustrating.
I found that video, by the way, Alpha.
So yeah, that's the kind of stuff that I generally just, you know, and I will just play it over people, see if anyone reacts to it. You see? So,
Oh, I know what she said.
Told me the hallway smelled of poop.
I think I've got more on here.
Just me normally. I don't know what's going on.
Yes.
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 You just want to. I'm not
Copy
surprised.
my voice saying yes.
I'm not surprised. But I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. But
There you go, Michi Inception there, and Visky as well, obviously. But I remember also going back to Nesticle. Is it loaded yet? No, fucking this thing takes ages. Playing other games on this as well, and we're talking about floppy disk games like what was it? Falcon F-15 game. No, Falcon Strike. Oh, it was Strike Eagle. F-15 Strike Eagle. Now, I've probably... yeah, this is it. F-15 Strike Eagle. Is it that one or Strike Eagle 2? So it wasn't 3. It could have been 3. No, I think it's number 2. Thinking about it, it's Strike Eagle 2. So it wasn't the first one, because the first one looked like that. Strike Eagle... Oh, 2. Yeah, it was Strike Eagle 2. And this... Go away, YouTube. This was... You could make a whole conversation with both voices. I probably could. This was... Although this is showing the Amiga graphics. But this was the Sega Genesis, I should say. This was also... You know, you could play this on the PC. PC. It wasn't number 3. It was number 2. Here we go. This is it. Yeah, this is definitely it, because I remember seeing this. Oh, hang on, go back. Pause. I remember seeing this and thinking, who are these fucking people got themselves the Ace and all that? I'm like, John Doe. I thought that was a real name, but we know what John Doe is, don't we? I could make a whole conversation, and I used to fly this all the time, and you know, you'd pick all this lot. Okay, I'll tell you what to do. That was it. This was the sounds. If you had a sound card, this is what you heard. I didn't have a sound card, so the actual game that I had, this is what you'd see and hear. Okay, now you're probably thinking to yourself, wow, those graphics these days, those graphics, they were the pinnacle back then. Okay, all right. Okay, I played this game for hours. I wasn't much good at it, if I'm honest with you, and I was playing it with a control, with the keyboard, That was it. That was it. That was a really good game, but it wasn't my first online experience. But it was on that Packard Bell, and it was a floppy disk. So this is Nesticle. Going back to what I was saying earlier, this is how I played. What do you call it? This is how I played Pokemon, because you go to File, you'd load a ROM up. I wonder if it's on here. No, I don't think it is. There's Pac-Man, Othello. There was loads of games on this. John, let's do. Hang on. Oh, too far. Nah. Oh, hang on, Mario Brothers. That Mario's Time Machine. No, wasn't that one. But yeah, you would play all these games through Nesticle. I didn't have that many games, if I'm honest with you, because I don't know how I ended up with it, but it was. I can't. There's no Pokemon here, is there? That's a shame, because you could play Pokemon on this as well. What is that going in the background? But yeah, that was pretty much it. You know, you would play it. Let's see if I can start. Oh, you can. Oh my God! Look at this! Look at this! You can actually play it. Oh, don't know what jump is, but I don't think you can jump in this. Let's run a little bit. Let's turn the sound on. Wow! Oh, that's also playing the thing in the background there. But, oh my good God! That's look up, look down. Ah! I can't find what jump is. Oh, it's out. I found jump. Oh my God. Oh my God. I can do this now. Whoop. Oh, you can't jump on them. Oh, you're just running through that. Okay. Oh my God. And yeah. Okay. So basically that was Nesticle. You could play a load of old games, and that was the other noise that was playing in the background there. But yeah, that wasn't my first online experience. But that was on the Packard Bell. And no, I never went online with the Packard Bell. You know, you can't imagine. Have you ever tried going online without going on your computer without the internet? It's fucking boring. It really is. Now, I tried that the other day with when I was upgrading my home system here. The PC that was the TV PC that had no internet connection, because I needed to put a cable in and move the network switch around, and it was like, oh, I can't be bothered to do that now. You hate it. You hate what? Oh, having no internet. Yeah. But my first, but that was pretty much all you could do with this thing here. There was no internet on this machine at all, and back then the internet wasn't around anyway, so it just wasn't. And some of them you had even dual CPU chips as well. But the funniest thing is when you look at the board, okay. If you look at this board here, now you're probably thinking to yourself, "Hang on, those they don't look like standard PCI slots," because they weren't. You'd have one 3D graphics card, one 2D graphics card, and that was it. And a sound card if you were lucky. A Sound Blaster card. You just drew and played pinball. Pinball, yeah. Oh God, pinball, yes. Something that's not even in games these days. You know, do they actually have? Because if you remember, if we go to all games bar, you used to have like Windows games, didn't you? I don't think they bring it out Windows 11 these days, do they? No, I don't think I did. Well, I would have removed it anyway. Let's play Space Pinball. Space Pinball. Full Tilt Space Pinball. Oh, you can play it on... Oh, it's not the same one, is it? It's not the same one, is it? Oh, it's good though. I mean, it runs, you know. Yeah, because it was Space Cadet or something, wasn't it? If I remember rightly. I was never good at pinball, if I'm honest with you. So yeah, you know, never really good at it, and it's probably shoot an advert soon as well. Come on, let's go on the other side. See what's up. Ah, try and get up there. Come on, let's go. Yeah, the thing is, you can't just bounce it to the other side that you used to be able to on the proper pinball machine. So, I don't know if you ever played pinball in an arcade, the proper pinball machines. You could, you know, the buttons, the paddles you'd press, and you actually had a pull plunger to pull out this thing here, the ball, and you can lightly touch the paddles. See, I told you I'm no good at that one. And that would launch it, but that's not the let's have a look if I find. Yeah, that's it. Space Cadet pinball. Full tilt pinball. Pinball and arcades were fun. They were brilliant. I mean, where I grew up. You don't think I can do this, can I? Oh my god. Hang on. New game. Right, okay. Player controls. Oh my god. Right, okay. Okay, right, you ready? F3 to resume. Waiting deployment. That's it, yeah, I mean... Do you remember this noise? What? Come on. I can't launch the ball. There we go. Oh my god, this is taking me back. I mean, what was this on anyway? It was Windows. Was it 95? Did this come out with 90? No, it wasn't 95. This was 98, wasn't it? Oh, the nostalgia. Where'd that ball go? Come on. Oh. Come on, that one, yeah. Oh, it's going to go in the middle. No, it's not. Oh, here we go. Come on. Get in the middle of that one. Ah, come on. See, this is taking me back. This is nostalgia, even for me. Because the hours I've spent in this game. And it was just so much fun. I mean, this was the pinnacle game. I know it's in Windows 7. I'm gonna have to Google this. When was it? There we go. When was it standard in Windows? Because I know they've removed it because they couldn't get it working in Windows 10 because of DirectX issues. But they've got it running in a in a browser, and it's running really nicely. The powers of the internet. Oh my god. What was it? Yeah, this is probably my best score I've ever had. What was it? 590,600. Yeah. Whoop. It's still telling me to go on, but yeah, I mean, gosh. Yeah, and you always wanted... You'd always want more, wouldn't you? I don't think I released it. You didn't even get to the mission select. Yeah, I know. I was never good at that. When did it come out though? Because I know it's part of 1995. Microsoft Plus. God, I remember Microsoft Plus. It was included in 1995. DM. Okay. Whoop. Let's throw you up there. Space Cadet Pinball.zip. Yeah. I am not installing that. I will be stuck on there. Discontinuation. I'm going to... where's over the time? Windows XP. Yeah. ARC 2001. Windows XP. Okay, so it came out of 64-bit. I am not... I know, but the fact is I'll be playing it all the time. Yeah, it was taken out of Windows XP. Gosh. Yeah, it's nice going back. You know you want to. Fuck off. Oh, you sound like one of those people who comes, you know, the van goes.
Why don't you jump in the back? I have sweeties.
Oh dear. Well, yeah. But yeah, that was pretty much, you know, but that wasn't my first game. You have pinball. I know you do. Who remembers the good old Dreamcast? Let's see if I can get... Just one more game, Jack. You know you can beat your best... I know. I'm not going to, because I'll get addicted to it. That's the problem with it, okay? Alright? Oh, fuck off. Fuck off. What was this? Hang on. What is... Oh. Oh, it's an adapter. Oh, okay. It's a... Fair enough. Yeah. Well, you could just... Yeah. So, who remembers the good old Dreamcast? Because this console came out when I was 16. It was the second console I'd ever owned. The first one being the Nintendo 64. But yeah, this one got me in a lot of trouble, let's put it that way. And I don't mean trouble with the law, I mean trouble with family. Now, the European version had the blue Dreamcast spiral at the top, instead of the red one that you've seen in these pictures. So if I type in Europe, as you can see, there's a perfect one here. Christ, you can get one at CEX. See? 75 quid. Does it come with a controller? Oh my god. Because what you could do is the amount... I think I've still got a couple of these around. A couple of games up in the loft. Cave Stories ported to the version of the Dreamcast. Hang on. I've never seen these. Always came 10 years older than the game. I'm not going to buy it because I don't have any money at all. Because I've been out of work and all that lot. So... And it is very tempting. But... It's... No, it's even discounted. What's discounted? Condition discounted. Whatever. But yeah, you used to have... I mean, this is a great example. Oh god, that yellowing on that console, that poor little console. I'd rather get one more of that colour. This was the controller. This was the controller. You had one analog stick, okay? A D-pad, 4 buttons, and 2 triggers. And that little screen there was the VMU, alright? Now, you're probably thinking, oh, that's cool. You've got, you know, you can run games in it. Yes, you could run games in it, and they were simple games. Sonic Adventure 2, if you remember Sonic, everyone knows Sonic Adventure 2. You could have, obviously you'd have your save files on it, okay? But if you had a battery in it, which are CL2032 batteries, which were like £3 a time for just one battery, if I remember. Kind of like, no, that's not the right color. that shouldn't be it. That should be that colour, you know, around the sides here. That's been, you know, sun bleached. That's the colour of it. That's meant to be the colour of it. Oh god, it's even showing the proper models and everything like that. But yeah, you know, you could actually have your Chow inside your VMU, and you could play with it and feed it like a little Tamagotchi. And it was really, really quite cool, but it took up most of the memory of the VMU. You couldn't have many saves in it, probably 1 or 2 saves as well. And the worst part was, if the battery, you know, the battery didn't last long at all. If I'm honest, if I remember correctly, it only lasted, and these were brand new batteries from a jeweler's, was about 7 days. And then the battery would just die. You couldn't switch the screen off, it was screen on all the time. Yeah. And it would display something like the time, stuff like that. But when you started the control, the what do you call it? Let's go to YouTube, actually, think about it. When you started the Dreamcast, VMU beep. You used to have a VMU, the VMU used to beep. When you started it, see if it would play it. So you switch it on. That is what you'd hear. And if you had multiple of them, you would actually have, like, the thing is, your games would still save regardless, because with the battery, your games would still save. It would still work as a memory card. And you used to have one that was a rumble pack. So these weren't rumbled either. You'd have to have another one which was rumble pack, and there was 2 slots in them, which was pretty cool. But you had accessories for it as well, for the Dreamcast, that is, but not for the controller as such. You used to get a fishing rod, Dreamcast accessories. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, so this is what I was saying earlier. The fishing controller, the actual main controller itself, the mouse, the official mouse. Now, I remember I didn't have many handhelds or consoles, but I did have a lot of plug and play games. We'll get onto that actually. There's the Tremor pack as well. Let's have a look. Sega Retro. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. So with the mouse, one of the games that came out on the Dreamcast. Now, I had a girlfriend back then called Caroline, okay, and she had broadband. I didn't. And I thought it was the coolest thing ever. Now, her dad had a really good computer. I'm talking about 1 gigahertz computer here. This is like, yeah, God, that's some years ago. And I was wanting to play this game called Unreal Tournament. Now, I played it on the 486 that you saw a little bit earlier, and it would work, but it would look really, really shit. The graphics were down low, everything was all blocky, but it would work. I would play it for hours. Okay, but I always wanted to play online. Now, once, you know, when they went away on their holiday, their yearly holiday, they gave me the keys to look after the house. I spent the whole week there. And during that week, I actually was playing Unreal Tournament on her dad's computer in his little office the whole week online on the internet, okay? No voice chat back then. It was text chat, okay? All right? But obviously when they came back, I couldn't, you know, to uninstall it, and, you know, because her dad didn't want games on his computer. Thinking about it, I'm not quite sure what he used the computer for, if I'm honest with you, because this is what I use most of my computer for anyway. And so I was renegated back to playing it on Caroline's computer, which wasn't as good, but they had the internet, and I used to play it on that, and that was the downfall of that relationship. Is the fact is I was addicted to the internet. And Amazon just came out as well. Gosh, I remember Amazon as well. Amazon shopping. Anyway, so going back to what I was saying, you used to with the Dreamcast, because I wanted to play Unreal Tournament. I had played it on the PC, but it came out for the Dreamcast. It wasn't Unreal Tournament, no. It was, but it was, yeah. They had Unreal Tournament and they had Quake 3 Arena. But they were both compatible with the keyboard and mouse. So I got the experience of playing with a keyboard and mouse back when I was 16. Now, obviously, these days people are starting younger. But if the mouse that I had, there was 2 different mice that came with the Dreamcast. So the mouse, there was a top way mouse and there was the main Dreamcast mouse. Now if I show you the main Dreamcast mouse, okay, right, this is the main Dreamcast mouse. It was very, very simple. Okay, it did the job. This is why I'm so used to having the side buttons. It's because of this fucking mouse. Okay, I've got two of mine. Okay, so I like to stick to games that kind of are like for this mouse. I can't remember what I used the side button for back then, because melee or punching wasn't in games back then, if I remember correctly. So I'm not quite sure I used what the side button was for, but I use melee onto the side button now. But the problem with this mouse was it was a ball mouse. It had a ball in it. Okay. And look, there's a quick theory in another tournament. And my house was never the cleanest, and you used to get, I don't know, if you take the ball out, okay, and you had two little kind of rotations, you know, perpendicular to each other, you know, and you used to have to kind of get all the hair out of it and like that. And I used to think to myself, there must be a better way, because I wanted to play this game forever. There must have been a better way. And this is when I started thinking, because I had that kind of brain, could there be not a better way, you know, a mouse without a ball in it? And then, lo and behold, a few years later, didn't come out to the Dreamcast because Dreamcast discontinued games. There was laser mice, which is basically all the same technology that we're using today. But my God, it's a big game changer. But going back to the Dreamcast mouse, the first game that I played online is, funny enough, on this list here. Okay, now bear in mind the Dreamcast didn't have a broadband port. Okay, it had a modem. What's mode? Is that it? No, that's that. No, that's mode. That's something else. It had a modem. Now, that was built into the thing. You could take it out, but it was built into it. Now, it's not showing me on here, unless it's under D for Dreamcast modem. Oh, here you go. So the Dreamcast modem. So yeah, you could unplug it. All right. Said something, so I did. No, okay. Let's see what you've sent me. You haven't sent me anything. Oh, Michi sent me something. I can't. Can I show that on the screen without showing your profile, because it's coming up with your profile on the side there? Oh, I can just click on this, can't I? Fruitager Aqua Mouse. Why? This is the thing. Why would you send me that? Why would you, oh, fuck off. I don't want 10% off my own. I'm not going to order from you. Fuck off. Those were cool in the day. No, they weren't. They were never cool. If you had one of these, you were never cool, okay? I mean, 30 quid. It's on TikTok as well. 2 floaters. You get floats to the toilet. That's USB mice. Oh, Gimmick Mouse had a ball in them. Oh, dear. How often do you do that to your mouse? Do you pick your mouse up and go, woo, like that? So, going back to the thing. So, the Dreamcast. Those were like mice you needed from tech company. You used from tech companies back in the day. They used to give them out cool shit. Fish, guns and fella. Oh, dear. Right, so, the Dreamcast modem. RJ11 port. I don't know what port this is, some sort of serial port here, but that was an RJ11. And you, with the Dreamcast, you had a 20-meter RJ11 to RJ11 cable. Or was it RJ11 to phone port? That was RJ11 to phone port because broadband, yeah, long story. Because this was a dial-up modem. So it was an RJ11 to phone jack, phone jack, okay? It was that this port here. And this was about 30 meters long. Well, I'll say 20 meters long, okay? And I remember running it from upstairs in my bedroom, down the stairs, around the corner, and into the telephone socket where no one was home at the time. Remember the mouse with 3 buttons? Yeah, 2 on the top, 1 on the side. Yeah? No? Is that what you're on about? Into the master socket and using I think it was some sort of get online Dreamcast thingy to get online to play. And the games I played were, the first game I played online was Quake 3 Arena. And although this got me in a lot of trouble because it didn't have a scroll, it didn't have a scroll wheel. Ah, right. No, I don't remember those. Hang on, you got me thinking now. Packard Bell 486 mouse. No, I only had 2. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, 3 button ones. Did I have 3 buttons on mine? Can't remember. He did have 3 buttons. Oh, did he have 2 buttons? But I remember it didn't have a scroll wheel.
You're new around here, so I'll go easy on
Or did it? I don't know. I'm probably having what do you call it, where it did or not. But they were something. What would you use the middle mouse button for? Middle mouse button. Middle mouse button. Yes, I remember now. The word middle mouse button just springs to my mind. But yeah, looking at these, yeah, mine did have 3 buttons because I remember this mouse now because I remember it saying hit the middle mouse button on your key on your mouse to, yeah, you know, you'd use the left mouse button all the time, but you had a middle mouse button and a right mouse button. There was the middle mouse button that did the whole kind of like, you know, the whole kind of contextual thingy here, menu here. Can't remember what the right mouse was. I know I used it in Paint. That's about it. But going back to this thing got me in a lot of trouble because you know, our telephone bill went through the roof because you were dialing a server somewhere in America or something like that. And I remember playing online and playing with a couple of players. Yep, menu button. Couple of players who were playing on computers, PCs. And when I told them I'm playing on a Dreamcast, and this is text chat, they're like, that's really quite cool. That's amazing. And I'm like, yeah, I was terrible at the fucking game. I got absolutely fucking kills. The latency, the lag wasn't there 300s, 400s. It was probably the worst ever gaming experience of the time. But I didn't care because I was online. I was playing with other people who weren't bots. Oh, if only Unreal Tournament you could play online. You couldn't play online. I don't know why. There was no online play for Unreal Tournament. So look, maximum bots. No, you couldn't play online. Hang on a second. PlayStation 2 version you could. Fucking bots. So I'm just seeing it. Dreamcast version of Unreal Tournament is based on the PlayStation 2 version of the game. It was created in-house by Epic Games and the publisher Infogrames, commissioned developer Secret Level to convert to Dreamcast. I'm just seeing, due to RAM limitations, set levels are now unavailable for split screen. Multi-several players features several features of the PC version, such as an assault game mode. Yes, that was missing. I remember assault game mode being missing in the Dreamcast versions. Just seeing what else was there. At the time, Unreal Tournament console did not come with a major feature update 2002. Mentioned console, blah blah blah. SegaNet. Access to menus.
I could cable her. Why not semaphore? Arthur, you've got to declare yourself openly. Otherwise, you're
I can't remember playing. No, it didn't have. I didn't think it had an online mode. Unreal Tournament, Dreamcast, online multiplayer. No, there you go. Online multiplayer, Unreal Dreamcast is no longer possible. Oh, was it ever possible? One Dreamcast could be played online. Dreamcast broadband. Right, yeah, okay. Fair enough. Apparently you could. Oh, well, I missed out there, didn't I, then? But let's just skip forward a bit. But this were the graphics. Oh my god. Compared to the... I mean, I played Unreal Tournament. What games did bots start coming out on? Oh, you mean... Oh, god, that was back on the N64. Probably sooner than that. But these were the graphics on the Dreamcast. You see? And, you know, you'd hear stuff like...
Double kill.
Triple kill.
Triple kill.
And that's the guy I used to play as. You know, that Matrix dude. That was my skin. I used to play that as well. The Impact Hammer.
Got him with the Impact Hammer.
So, yeah, this is someone else's, obviously, game. Obviously, video we're looking at. But... And I remember these used to have two different modes. Most of these guns here. The rocket, if you clicked and hold, and it would, you know, wind it up, and you'd be able to shoot multiple rockets at once. Right mouse button used to fling the rockets. The flat cannon that the other guy just had oh god, this is going back there. No, it wasn't GoldenEye. GoldenEye didn't have bots. GoldenEye never had bots. Hang on, let's type in N64 GoldenEye bots. I don't think it came with bots. Actually, yes, it did, didn't it? Perfect Dark.
Please, if we're going to spend the rest of our lives
Hang on.
together, you must learn not to interrupt.
Hang on.
You mean marriage?
Of course.
You got a
You'd never played GoldenEye. You never played GoldenEye.
We're all functioning normally.
Oh my god, you've played variations of it. So I know you're playing GoldenEye level the other day.
What's your answer?
No, Yuri. Sorry. Michi, Visky was playing GoldenEye the other day, not you, Yuri. But yeah, GoldenEye.
That I love you.
Gosh, yeah. Oh, that's an advert. But no, GoldenEye never had bots, I don't think. Did it? I can't remember if GoldenEye had bots. Because I know the single player, the levels had bots.
However, behaviours to run on tightly constrained.
But no, they didn't have bots in the multiplayer. However, the Perfect Dark did. N64 Perfect Dark, and I'm so gutted that this has been cancelled. Not the N64 version, but the new update for it. But this is, you know, this was this. You could play this on the N64, but you used to have a you got to have the advanced, you know, the red thing that goes into the memory slot. It was just basically a memory card, a RAM divider, something like that, a RAM upgrade to play this game. Expansion card, that's it. You could play it without the expansion card, but you were very limited to what you could play. But with the expansion card and multiplayer on this, I played with bots, and oh my fucking god, it was fucking amazing. I loved this game. You see, and I'm a bit gutted about the new Perfect Dark being cancelled, because you know this is my childhood. And I know I was, what was it? When did the N64 version of Perfect Dark come out? Do we know? 2000. So I was 15, 16 at the time. I was 16. Yeah, I couldn't get the games because I only got the ones that were taken from the original worked in Chinese consoles. Okay. But yeah, I miss the N64. But I don't miss the controller. The three-horned controller, I don't miss that. But there were so many different N64 controllers. Now I wonder if I can find the one I had, because I had a very strange looking controller. Mad Cats. If anyone remembers Mad Cats, I think it was Mad Cats. That's it. A super pad. So, I thought I was ahead of the time anyway, but I didn't realise how far ahead I was. If you have a look at look at that. Yeah, do you remember this controller? And you look at controllers these days. I've got one here. Hang on. You do, yeah? And you look at controllers these days. You know, it's eerily similar. Just these two. I mean, these two were swapped around. So the D-pad was up here, and you had another one here. But look, those are pretty much the same on that. And obviously these shoulder buttons as well. I mean, getting used to that from that to that. I went straight for that all the time. I had siblings who played with that. Okay, those controllers. But I just yeah. I loved that controller. That's what I would grab every single time. You install Pinball FX on Steam, for fuck's sake. I mean, did you have a favourite controller that you played in the N64? I've got do you know what we need to do? We need to get together, a load of people. Cheers for the lurks. A load of people. N64. Okay. 4 people. N64. I mean, just sitting and play Mario Party, for example. I mean, Mario Party was one of those games that I played all night with my siblings. All night. Till about 5-6 o'clock in the morning, when we realised the sun was coming up. Oh god, yeah, it was one of those things as well. It's brilliant. Absolutely missed the N64. Great thing. But the thing is, it didn't have memory, so you had to have a memory card, much like this here, in one of them. And then obviously the GameCube came out there. Yeah, it's... Oh dear. The controls I'm used to are the shape of the beanbag. The beans are flat. It's just amazing. I remember that coming out for the Xbox. It is an Xbox One. But yeah, it's the history of gaming for me has been a great journey, and I absolutely fucking love it. The whole console wars and all that lot, brilliant. But I feel like I've kind of spoilt myself in such a way in which those wars that I'm not even part of anymore, because games and controllers are pretty much the same these days. Now, you're probably thinking, hang on, what? How can you say that? How are controllers the same? They are. They've got two what do you call it? 2 analog sticks, a digital pad, a D-pad, ABXY, shoulder buttons, triggers. The N64 had a Z button, 2 shoulder buttons, C up, C down, C left, C right, A and B, start, the analog stick, and a D-pad. Not 2 digital pads. You see, and they didn't have batteries in them. You used to have the Wavebird. Yeah, that's... Hang on, was the Wavebird the N64? Hang on. Console wars have not finished. Yes, PS and Xbox are now one. They are very on a new war. Who can give the people the better experience? Hang on. I'm just... Wavebird, I'm thinking is GameCube, isn't it? Yeah, Wavebird's GameCube. I could swear there was a wireless controller for the N64. Wasn't there? Hang on. There was a wireless controller for the N64. Somewhere. I mean, these are then again. Remember joysticks? We're going back a little bit further. We can go back further if you want. GoldenEye was amazing. It was pretty good. I mean, hang on, let's see. I might get copyrighted for this, struck for this, but GoldenEye N64 soundtrack. Oh God. I mean, what does that tell you? I used to skip that part, and then you'd be on this one, and then straight to the dam, and you'd go around shooting. You see? Tell me I'm heading for a fucking amazing game. That's what. And yeah, that'll be the flyover part, and this will be the James Bond doing this. Bearing on this pitfall, and then you'd end up in this weird kind of toilet cubicle where you strike someone, and that'll be the start of the game. And then you pause it, and you'd hear. And then if you lost. Which I'm not gonna lie to you, I heard that quite a bit. That bit, I heard that a lot. I heard it. It was so ahead of its time. It was, but the problem with it was when you were using the AK, right? This gun there that you see on the screen right now, this one right here. You loved Agent Under Fire. Never played it. When I saw screenshots in a magazine of this one game. This, right? I thought that was someone's hand. Hang on, let's just wait for them to finish shooting in that corridor. I thought that was James Bond's hand at the end of that, not his gun. So, yeah, that kind of like, I mean, these are kind of, more up to date graphics, because this is. You're looking at a 1080p at least, but bear in mind what was the resolution? Resolution. What was the resolution back then? High-pitched N64 hardware. Here we go. It's going to do a comparison. So, yeah, that is it. And you're thinking to yourself, these days, I mean. Yeah, 9 years ago. And look, I wonder if you can actually hear the game. This is it. This is the flyover bit that we were talking about. And there's James Bond. Played by Pierce Brosnan. Okay, and this is obviously the updated version. And this is the original version, if you remember. And yes, it ran like that. Oh, God, you remember? Those. Yeah. Look. tell me that doesn't look like an arm. Tell me that doesn't look like his arm. With a hand at the end of it, and he's holding a gun. Or is that just me? You want to play it now? I mean, there's just... And the... Oh, it was just so great. This is nostalgia 101 here, straight away. Biohazard, I think it was. Was it Biocorpse? Biocorpse. Biocore. I think it was N64. I think it was it. No. I can't remember what the game was. But it was a very, very scary game. It wasn't scary, it was more freaky than scary, if I was remembering right. Let me just see if I can find it whilst we're talking about games. But yeah. But I can't remember what it was called. You had Biofreaks. Biofreaks was kind of creepy. But yeah, the N64. Hang on. I'm gonna have to have a look at N64 games. Bio. I know it's something bio. It wasn't Biofreaks. But you landed on a planet invaded by aliens, alien bugs. Body Harvest, that was it. Now I'm just gonna bring up the game, okay? Body Harvest. No, I'm not gonna bring up that video. Body Harvest gameplay. Now, when I play it, I'm gonna put a little warning down. The music is a bit creepy, okay? But bear in mind, this is when I was 15, 16. So yeah, I'm gonna bring the game up. So it was made by DMC, which I don't know if you know, they made the original Grand Theft Auto back then, which was brilliant. Nightmare Creatures, we'll have a look at that one. So we'll skip all this because no one ever cared about the story. We skipped all that. Skip all that. Skip all this. Skip all this. So I skipped all this. I didn't know. I didn't care for the story back then. I just wanted to get into the thick of it. And that's probably my biggest mistake because, yeah, this was it, right? Michi left her phone down here. Oh, well done, Michi. So, you know, you'd end up in Greece, you put your name in, and look, just listen to this. Just listen. How creepy is that music? I mean, and then you were just left to your own devices. And you were just running around, you could jump on vehicles. And then the next thing you see is these big aliens coming in and you're like, oh god, no, what's going on? That was the game. That was the game. And I was absolutely terrible at it. I couldn't play much in it. I got the bridge down. But yeah. But this also reminds me of another game that I played, actually. That keeps popping up. Little Big Adventure 2. Twiston's Odyssey. Played this on the PC. It was PC. And look at it. It was one of the, it just looked gorgeous, but I had no fucking clue what to do with it. But it was just one of those simple games. Those were games back then. These were the days of proper gaming. If I could go back and say to a younger myself, back to these days, that one day you will be inside a game, surrounded by aliens, surrounded by zombies, and you would have to shoot them with your controller that was you holding in your hand. But you know, you were stood up and you were actually in the game world. I wouldn't believe you. But we've got VR these days. So, God, I miss being young again. I miss this whole gaming genre, and how frustrating it was to get home and find a game that wouldn't work on your computer. Because these days games just work. I grew up in a place called Lancing, and there was a what do you call it? I wonder if the
Twinson and to the development.
I don't even remember the audio for this game anyway, because I didn't have audio back then. I grew up a game that scared me was Gagler, or something of White Lion Head. Fly After You now. Well, welcome back. Gallagher. Gallagher's a shooting thingy. There was what do you call it, in Lancing. I don't know what's actually there. Let's actually have a quick look. Shall we go to maps for a second, okay? Alright. We go to all the way back there. Go to where I grew up. Crabtree Lane. Monks. Right, now I just know where I am. Okay. So, I used to live around this area here. I used to work in when I was 16 in there, which was back then Summerfield. Was it 13, 14? Now there used to be that's it. In this store here, it used to be a video games place. That's the Magnet. Okay. And in this, you used to buy video games. And these were like cheap £10 PC games. See how far it goes back. Peas and Pants. Pets and Pants. Doesn't go any further back than 2009, which is, you know, quite some time ago. But yeah, I brought a video game from there once. I can't remember what the video game was, but as soon as I put it inside the PC, it just wouldn't work because there was no exe file. It was a load of files. There's no exe files, which I took back there, and bless them, you know, I was young at the time. I was about 13, and I handed them the game and said, this game doesn't work. And I said, we'll have to come and test it. You know, you can't get your money back. And I just ran out crying because I'd lost £10. £10 to me back then was a lot of money. And yeah. The game that you were talking about, Visky, Gallagher game, is showing me a very old game, which is before my time. Gallagher, 1981. Was that it? Was it a top-down shooter game? Was it that one? That's an arcade game. So, no, I'm trying to find it. Okay, if you do find it, let me know, because that'll be an interesting one. But yeah, it's the history of gaming. It's just, yeah. And yeah, I just really, you know, the N64, going back a little bit further, before the Dreamcast, before the N64, before my PC, I had a different console. Now, whether you call it a console or not, it's something, you know, I couldn't say isn't. It's kind of in between a home computer and a games console, because it still played games, but you used to have to load the games using code to start a physical little audio tape. And you probably, if you're young like Michi, I'll show you what an audio tape is. Michi probably knows what an audio tape is. Okay. Where was it? Yeah, hang on. Let me just type in game tape. Here we go. So this was perfect. Cassette games. This was exactly the same one I had as well, actually. That model of the my first kind of computer / console was a Commodore 64, and it was that version as well, actually, because I remember these keys here and most of these keys here. Yeah, so you didn't have extra F keys or anything like that. You didn't have arrow keys. You had 16 port. What do you call it? Yeah, look, controller ports on and off, and a power supply thing, or was a power supply at the back? No, there's that one. I think so. I can't remember. But the Commodore 64 was my, I would like to say, you know, my first kind of introduction into gaming. It's Sinistar. Sinistar video game. Wow. Came out the year before I was born. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at it, okay? But yeah, Sinistar. Yeah, the game scared the shit out of me. Was it the audio? Did you have audio back then, or was it something else? Let's mute that for a second. Wow. Wow, that sounds terrible. Just listen to it. The monster itself. Where's the monster? There you go, Run. Run. Oh my god. Okay, alright. I know we're not going to do everything tonight, like I said we were going to do, so I didn't realise I was going to go such a tangent. Okay, but I remember Aladdin being one of these absolutely brilliant games as well. Alone in the Dark 3, but I'm not going to sit there and watch a video of yourself at the moment. But Sinistar, he used to roar and scream at you as well. But yeah, my Commodore 64. Now you couldn't go online with this, but you could. There was something, but yeah, I remember. You used to have a printer with it as well. Commodore 64 printer. Let's have if we type Commodore 64 accessories, okay, we go to images. Okay, now I don't remember most of these. I remember the disk drive, the 5¼ inch disk drive. I remember the joysticks. I remember that stick as well, and it used crap. Yeah. Now I feel like we've missed something. In fact, I know we've missed something. Master System. Do you remember the Master System? Master System 2, I think it was called. Here we go. The Master System. You can actually buy it. Wow. Yeah. So the funniest thing about the Master System is I didn't play it that much. I didn't own one personally. It was one of my siblings owned one of these, where you would play Sonic 2, Sonic the Hedgehog, and the games themselves were a bit weird. Where the game cartridge looked old. These are the games cartridges. They just looked like they were just mostly black, and you'd have the name of it at the top there. Now going back to the whole kind of, you know, having the games to play, you know, renting the games and buying them. I remember my sibling used to rent these games all the time, and if you didn't have any games in the console, you'd switch them on. You remember them, yeah? You'd switch it on and you'd play Alex the Kid. So Master System 2, Alex, I think it was Alex Kidd. And yeah, this is it. Oh gosh, here we go. And it was just, what's the word? It was just amazing. Sega's original what was it? Alex Kidd was Sega's original mascot. No, really? But yeah, whilst that's running in there, I'm gonna just double check that. Sega's original mascot. I can't spell mascot. Original mascot. First mascot before Sonic the Hedgehog was Alex Kidd. You're right. Yeah, there he is. Wow. Actually, he had a really big fist, didn't he, to punch stuff with. You know, that's the one thing that's stuck in my head all these years, is the fact he had a massive fist. So, yeah, this is like... See, I played Alex Kidd for a little bit. I was no good at it. Cause, you know, I was never good at platformers. So I was never good at Sonic the Hedgehog. Never good at... Most games back then were platformers. Which, again, I was no good at. So when first-person shooters started coming out, like Turok and things like that, not the original Turok, but we're talking about... I think it was Turok Trade Wars or something like that. We're going to leave that running in the back there. No, we're not. We're going to close it down. I think it was Turok Trade Wars or something like that. I can't remember what it's called. Rage Wars. That's it. Trade Wars. I remember this coming out. Okay. And you used to play with bots as well. Okay, because... Turok Rage Wars with multiplayer and bots, because this was the first game that I actually played. I wonder, hang on, can we go back? Can we go back? Because this has got quite a weird music intro to it. So multiplayer, player one, you used to pick your character, pick your guns. And you can hear the music in the background there. It's very high, and then you hear a woman singing in a second. It used to scare me to fucking shit, that did. So, you know, you pick your things, right? And look, you know, this was the loading. This is the game loading, and it was showing you around it. You can skip this, but yeah. And I played this. God, whoever's playing this was terrible. And I think it was one of these games where you could change. So it was the C buttons which were movement. And yeah, the C buttons were movement. And it was obviously the analog stick was aiming. And the Z button was shooting. Bear in mind the shooting, you know, you had it like this, essentially. So instead of your right trigger, it was your Z button to shoot. Because initially they wanted you to play it that way, so you're using the D-pad to move. Forwards, backwards. But no, they were using the C buttons. So, oh, it was such a weird way of doing it. But it was, it just takes me back to the thing. And it was right bumper. You used to pick your weapon by pressing and holding the right bumper, then moving the stick to the right kind of like, you know, the right weapon that you wanted. And you could play different versions. I mean, there were capture the flag. There was even a what do you call it? A mode that, yeah, tournament mode. This is my, you know, and there was only 3 other bots. And I spent hours playing this game, possibly days, and I loved it. You see, so when Turok 3 Seeds of Evil, Turok 2 Seeds of, no, is it Seeds of Evil? Yes, it was. I think so. Hang on, let me double check that, because you played Alien Trilogy on the PS1. I think it was this one. No, it wasn't Turok 2, Seeds of Evil. Turok 3? Shadow of Oblivion, that's it, yes. I'll have a look at that one. Yeah, because this was more kind of futuristic kind of thing. Yeah. This is one of the games I was into. And I used to get stuck in this room. I didn't know go any further. 3. Multiplayer with bots. I think this had bots in it. Yes, it did. Oh my god. God, this is right. Okay. I mean, this is going. This is right. Okay, competition time. It is 21:30 hours. I need to have my medication as well. Let's get my blood pressure. But yeah, I mean, it's just... I don't think I actually played the multiplayer that much, if I'm honest with you. Okay. Alright. So. Has anyone got their bets in for, what you call it, for my blood pressure? Because I'm about to press the start button now. Okay. Let's put the music back on. And it's pumping up now. I'm going to bring up my health app. And we're going to just be doing blood pressure today. So. Come on, any guesses for blood pressure? BPM is 157. What? The high number or the low number? You got 2 guesses, high and low. You got 2 numbers, or even pulse rate as well. Add a record and pulse as well. Takes a few minutes. Low. You think the lower number is 157? Okay. All right. So it takes a few minutes to do it. But yeah, those were the gaming history, and it was absolutely great. I loved it. Ugh. What about my pulse rate? So my systolic, which is the higher number, is 177, and my diastolic is 116. So you should have said the higher number. You would have been closer. Pulse rate. Come on. Try and guess the pulse rate. No guesses for pulse rate. But yeah, it's the history of gaming for me was just heart rate, pulse rate. Yeah, heart rate. Yeah, it's just a different way because obviously heart rate's mentioned in pulse rate. So yeah. What we'll do for the last 30 minutes, we'll jump on Reddit. Guess 157 for that. Oh, the heart rate. No. 75. It's my heart rate. So, yeah. Still hypertension stage 2. Also, new uniform. So, yeah, you don't win anything, I'm afraid. Also, on my uniform, is that low? My pulse rate's normal. Okay, so my blood pressure's high. Oh. Like that. They're more of a copper colour, but that is Velcroed, and that goes on my work shirt on my arm there. You see? So, you know. What do you think? I think it's cool. You see? So I used to just have the Union flag there on the new uniforms, but now I've got something that identifies me as an engineer, and that's my QE number there. My engineering number. Doesn't get you anything if you know it, so you don't need to worry about it. But for the last 30 minutes, let's jump on to everyone's favourite website, the front page of the internet, Reddit. Oh, we know what's going to be fun. We know this is going to be fun. So I'm going to close down all these other windows. We'll have to do a jump in time when it comes to gaming, you know. So, Sky Fiber with Wi-Fi Max and Sky customer support. What's wrong with this picture? Monday to Sunday, 8 to 8:30, unavailable, and it's 1941. Okay, what's wrong with this picture? Not a chance available. It's only 20 to 8. I'm on Sky's top broadband package. Oh god, sorry. I feel like this is a Karen. I definitely think this is a Karen, so I'm gonna put the
Karen voice on. Okay. What's wrong with this picture? The chat is available between 8 o'clock and 20:30 all week. Chat is unavailable. It's only 20 to 8. I am on Sky's top broadband package, whatever that is. Full fiber, I think it's called. Anyway, it's the top one. My internet has been shite all week, like 9 megabits a second in between complete dropouts. I finally get onto the website, see what's going on. If anything, I see that there's a new tier, Wi-Fi Max. It's only an extra £8, and they're sending me the new router with Wi-Fi 6, so I'm cautiously optimistic that'll be better.
I hate to put it to you, it's not going to be.
Questions I have. Anyone using Wi-Fi Max, is it better than previous hubs? The hub I'm on just now is a Sky Q hub from a few years ago. I see there are Wi-Fi pods you can get. Are these free? Do they come with a hub? Any tips? Getting rock solid connection over the house? I guess what I'm asking is, what mesh network add-ons can I buy compatible with Sky hubs? Thanks so much for your help. I'm practically technical, more so. I'm pretty technical, more so, in a software way rather than a networking way. Cheers.
Why do we need to know that you're savvy in the software way? You're obviously not, because you use an Apple Mac. Seriously. Why? Don't. I'm not going to answer this one. But, yeah, don't. Oh dear. You need to check the packages and things like that. Yeah, customer service. Apple CAC. Yeah. Yeah. When it comes to Sky, customer service support is absolutely terrible. Even I can tell you that as an engineer. BT Wi-Fi outage. Right. Okay. This is going to be an interesting one. Now, I had a BT job the other day. All right, and it was a network outage. Well, they actually have a service center. That could be a good idea. We're aware of an issue of customer experiencing blue lights and no connection to the hub. We are working hard to fix this issue. Yes, that was the issue I had the other day. So I'm probably going to be saying, oh wait, let's have a look. Late activation, late repair. So late activation, £6.24 a day. Yeah, £9.88 a day. £9.98. Oh, I said £9.50 a day roughly. Don't think it was 2 working days. Gotcha, missed appointment. Maximum compensation 60 days. So service fault for 60 days. So you get £9.98 for 58 days. Oh, 60 days. So £9.98 times it by 60, which is £598. That's not a bad thing, but you can't really kind of you know go without internet for 60 days, 2 months. What about not Wi-Fi? But yeah, there is, you know, a outage situation here. Moving to a new house, confused by the ISP, don't care. And why are we actually on this ISP one? Let's go to new. PUBG shutter. Stutter. Nope, don't care. Declaration of trust, single mortgage, don't care. CPU lamp red, buttons don't work, don't care. Best router. My Edge router XFS SFP is recently shit, and the best options I don't care. There are a lot of people complaining. My boyfriend and I want to. Okay, here's an idea. My boyfriend and I want to start streaming Dead by Daylight, but we have no idea what we're doing. We want it so we can switch screens while streaming, and the audience hears his audio whilst on his screen, and they hear mine whilst on mine. And we use Streamlabs. I have a PC, he has a PS5. Per our Google searches, we got a capture card, good. I believe we have plugged it in correctly. PS5 HDMI to HDMI input, monitor HDMI to HDMI output, USB. There's your first problem using Streamlabs. Yes. The main problem is we are running into an audio. We can hear mine fine on both my headset and the stream, but we can't get to my boyfriend's headset. It's a Turtle Beach headset that comes with a USB adapter. We originally tried having the USB adapter plugged into his PS5 as normal, but the stream couldn't hear and get the audio. Fast forward, we thought there was an aux cable input for headphones on the capture card. Maybe that would work. But we patched a USB-C to aux cable today, and it doesn't seem to have changed anything. Of course it won't. If I'm honest, the best way to do that, okay, is if it was me, because I've got Go XLR, I've got an XLR microphone. It's here, okay? I would have multiple XLR mics, because you can do that with XLR. And you'd just have an XLR mic as well as a headset for internal game chat. But yeah, you'd rather just go through XLR, if I'm honest with you. Or just use two PCs. That's what I'd do. Just have two PCs, stream two PCs. Sorry, I'm sneezing away. We're currently via EE. B! B! No! No! B! As a whole. Oh no! Oh! Wow! Oh my god. Oh god. Those bees are attacking that hornet. Fuck. That's interesting as fuck. Oh yeah, they will, won't they? That's what they do. They cuddle it and wait and flap their wings the hardest, and it burn and they'll cook the thing to death. Yeah, look, here you go. Pretty sure the swarm will vibrate so much and roast the hornet alive. Wow. That's interesting as fuck, isn't it? Fucking love bees. There we go. Cooked. Extra crispy. Don't piss off some bees. So I thought they were just stinging it, but I realised bees can't sting, really, can they? They can sting once. They only sting once. I have an emotional support bee plush. But you can say I have an emotional support bee. I've got to do the voice.
We are currently with EE. If we were to change to another ISP, do they use the same cable? When we got a fibre line installed, they done a really good job. I don't want a messy install if we change ISP.
Well, no. Yes and no. They will. If it depends if they're on OpenReach, which they are. They will use the same one. But if it's a different provider using City Fibre, just like this Brighton Techie here, they use a different connection. I have both OpenReach connections and City Fibre in my house. But I'm just using City Fibre the whole time. My laptop won't boot into the Windows. Operating system is not is labeled as not OS underscore install. Please set it OS underscore and try a free recovery later. It's because you named it. That's why. It's because you named it. Oh, speaking about internet stuff. So, here's a story from my work the other day. So yesterday, was it yesterday? It was yesterday. Yeah. So yesterday I had my boss come down and see me. Okay. Just to see how I'm getting on, because obviously first week back, and we did a stock audit in my van. And after the stock audit, he wanted to see how I'm getting on job-wise. So he followed me to my first job, which, I kid you not, was only 2 minutes down the road. When I rang the customer, because he wanted to go a little bit earlier, so I rang the customer. I said, look, I explained who I am. I'm on my way. Do you want me to see me? Do you want me to see you a little bit earlier, or I can wait until the allocated time? She was happy for me to be, in early. So, we pulled up to the place, and my boss, Andy, he says to me, do you want me to come in with you, or do you just want me to stay out? And I said, no, come on in. Okay. Because I've got nothing to hide. Which is fair enough. And I wanted to show him how I work, because ever since I've started this job, he's only been with me once or twice. Now, I knew that this customer was going to be particularly tricky, because when you're on the phone to someone and they start shouting at you over the phone, it's going to be a tricky job, because this customer was fairly old and just didn't understand much. Couldn't hear me that well either. So I went in with my colleague. I introduced my colleague as, she said, I didn't realise there's going to be two of you. I said, well, I did tell you on the phone, but this is my colleague Andy. He's my boss. He's going to keep an eye on me to make sure I'm doing my job properly. Okay. And then he's like, no, I'm not doing that. I said, you are. Okay. All right. That's the reason why he's here. Okay. And she was angry, because what had happened was she'd been switched from copper to fibre, and at the same time being switched from copper to fibre, they messed up her landline number, and they gave her a temporary number. And she was annoyed at her service provider. So I was like, okay, there's nothing I can do for you now. What is your old number? And the number I'm going to tell you is what you're currently using. So you can still use it as your normal phone by ringing out, but your friends, you can give them the temporary number, but it is going to be a BT problem. So I'm going to send it back to BT, because it's nothing to do with yourself. You've not done anything wrong, and we can't do anything, because it's not a engineering issue, it's a software issue at British Telecom. Okay, it's nothing to do with us. And she, I managed to get her to calm down from like very angry to kind of quite nice, quite, appealing, quite chatty as well. And when we left, she was saying goodbye and all that lot, have a lovely day and all that lot. She was lovely, don't get me wrong. And when we left, Andy was like, how did you do that? And I'm like, what do you mean? And he goes, she was really pissed off with anyone and everyone, but you've managed to calm her down, explain everything to her, do your usual checks, and left her smiling. And I said, it's simple words, you know. You want to get them to kind of experience what you want to be empathic, but you want to be empathic, but you don't want to be sympathy. You don't want to give them sympathy, you want to give them empathy. Yeah, you put all your points into charisma and strength as well. I'm pretty strong, so fuck you. And intelligent. Oh god, I've lost all my points straight away. But yeah, I was just that's, and it's just simple words, some words you can just turn around and say, you can be one thing or another, and this and that, but if you listen to them, this is their problem, and to explain to them what the problem was. And she was like really, really angry to start with, but managed to get from there to there. And my last job yesterday, it was a brilliant one. So the report says, and it was an engineer who went there the day before. This was Wednesday, and I was there on Thursday. And the report says, EE router installed, blah 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 blah. Customer's happy. The customer was far from it. So when I knocked on the door, I was 5 minutes early. She answered the door, and I explained to her who I was, where I was coming from, and that I'm here to do some work for her. And before I walked in, she was like, I'm hoping that you're better than the engineer from yesterday. And I'm like, so you did have an engineer yesterday? Because I was just reading the report on that one. He goes, yeah. Do you have any boot covers? Or do you mind taking your boots off? And I'm like, well, I can't take my boots off because of health and safety reasons, but I do have boot covers and I'm happy to put them on just for you as well. So there's me putting my boots on. And she was like, oh, that's so nice of you. Because my last engineer, he was absolutely useless. He wanted to be out in like 10 minutes and he scuffed up all my floors upstairs. And with his boots, and he left, and I quote her what she said, she left, and he left skid marks. And I'm like, giggled to myself, skid marks. It says not actual skid marks, but you know what, you'll see them when you're walking around upstairs. And she was like, the problem that I've got is I've got these tenants in the annex there, and they were shouting, and I'm really scared of them because their internet is broken. Right? Okay, and because it's really super slow. And I'm like, okay, all right, I'll see what I can do for you. And she turned around and says, you're not going to be in and out in 10 minutes and things like that. And I said, no, I mean, I don't generally leave until the job's done, if I'm honest with you. And if I can't do the job, I'll just rebook for another day to come back and complete the job. Oh, well, okay. So I said, so you've explained to me that the annex doesn't get a decent internet connection, and that you're a bit concerned about the tenants in there. She says, yeah, she didn't want to speak to the tenants at all because the tenants scare her, which is understandable because one of them's quite angry, apparently. So, I managed to, and when we went upstairs to the router, and I found the EE router on the floor, just not plugged in, and it was plugged into, EE have Wi-Fi 6 and Wi-Fi, the Wi-Fi discs they use, the Wi-Fi access point they had, were Wi-Fi 5 just plugged into it, and it was showing a red light. And I said, well, that's why it's not working, because those two Wi-Fi discs work for that BT router, these two Wi-Fi discs work for that EE router. Now let's get you switched over to the EE equipment because it's Wi-Fi 6, it generally is better. However, it's totally up to you what I do. I mean, I'm happy to put the Wi-Fi 5 stuff in properly for you, or the Wi-Fi 6 in. Because you're fibre to the premises, and I can see that your speeds coming in are around 500, I would suggest the EE router because it's being Wi-Fi 6. So I did that, got it installed, got it plugged in, and couldn't see the Wi-Fi disc in the annex on the system. So, and I'm like, well, let's get this Wi-Fi disc, the one that's available, that's set in the other room, quite close to the router. Let's get that in the rightful place, in a decent place. So that's what we did. We put it in a good place. And I said to her, I need to gain access to that annex. And she says, well, you can try knocking. I did try knocking. There's no one in. And so I rang. So she says, well, I can ring them. But I don't want to talk to them. Is what she said. And I said, well, don't worry about that. I'll talk to them. If I ring them off my phone, if you give me her number, I'll ring them off my phone so it looks a bit more professional. I'll speak to them and I'll get her permission and we can go next. You've got a key for that, haven't you? She says, yeah, okay. So that's what I did. So I rang the tenant off my work phone, explained to them who I am, what I need to do. I need to do a network upgrade on their Wi-Fi disc. And with, I basically installed the Wi-Fi disc, the access point in that annex. Went back to the router, went back to the other Wi-Fi disc, get the whole network up and running. Went back into the annex, tested the speeds, and it was going from like 10 from the old things. It wasn't even connected from the old Wi-Fi disc to this new Wi-Fi disc, which is now 300. So I'm like, brilliant. So there's no complaint. There's going to be no complaints, no issues with that at all. I reported it back to the woman, and she was like, she was over the moon. I spent a little bit longer than I normally do on her one because she had really, really bad time with her previous engineer. And I could see that the previous engineer had left boot marks from when he scuffed his boots along the floor. And I said to her, the best thing about that is you need to complain to the ISP, okay, to get that corrected. But make sure you're complaining about the previous engineer, not me. And I told her to take a picture of my ID. I gave her my ID and say, take a picture of that. That's me, okay? And, that's what you need to do. And she was she was lovely by the end of it. She was annoyed to start with, but managed to be a little bit charismatic to kind of change it from a negative thing to a positive thing as well. And that's what I find myself doing quite often is with my line of work, you have to manage expectations where internet and Wi-Fi are two different things, where people think Wi-Fi should be, you know, covering the whole house, because when I was younger, you used to have one router and it would cover the whole house, okay? Which worked until Ofcom got their grubby little mitts on our routers and say you can only use 1 watt of power because we are limiting radio waves to 1 watt before it needs to be licensed. Now, every building that has a radio that projects radio, even the PMR little toy radios you get, can be less than 1 watt. It has to be less than 1 watt. Otherwise, you have to have a license for that building. And if you think about it, how many homes are in the UK? Around 25 million homes. Yeah, you can imagine why. Yeah. This is why. Also another reason why you can't use an American router in England, because the channels are completely different as well. So if you have DDWRT, which I will go into at one point on stream, DDWRT is a firmware of a router. I don't have it installed in my one, which allows you to change absolutely everything, including Wi-Fi, if it has Wi-Fi, that is. Okay. Where DDWRT, you know, you can even have it as American channels as well, which is not a good thing. The reason for that is you can get Ofcom to come round and they will knock on your door and they will then fine you for being on the wrong channels. That's if you have an American router. But yeah, that's pretty much most of my week been, and other bits and pieces where, you know, installing equipment and but yeah, I've had no negative things this week either. So yeah, it's been a decent week. I'm still on. I'm working again tomorrow morning. So I get up at 5 a.m. I exercise first thing in the morning. I then shower, have some breakfast, sort out my day, see where I'm going, and then I'll just at 7 a.m. I'm in my van, ready to go, ready to hit the road. The reason I leave at 7 a.m. is because yes, it's early. It's 45 minutes earlier than we should leave, but I like to get out of the house. I don't like sitting around. The reason being because roads are quieter and I can get to my destination anywhere in West Sussex within that hour. So I'm at the first customer's address at dead on 8 o'clock, which if it's like 30 minutes away or 40 minutes away, 45 minutes away, I should be there at 8:30 and I get there at 8 o'clock. That's still 30 minutes ahead of time schedule. Plus, I normally just work through my lunch because I tend to snack. I will have a sandwich between customers, so that's another lunch break. That's, you know, I manage my time quite well, and I'm home quite early most of the time. But what I'm saying is, you know, I'm glad that I'm back at work. I want to be back at work fully, but I'm only on light duties until Monday. But I'm so glad to be back. I'm so bored. I was last week. So it's 10 p.m. It's time for me to go. I wish you all a lovely evening. Look after yourselves. I'm just seeing who we're gonna raid. If there is someone to raid, we are gonna raid. We're gonna raid good old Michi because she smells funny and nobody likes her really. There she is in the chat as well. I hope you have a lovely evening, lovely weekend. So stick around for the raid. Michi's absolutely wonderful and lovely. Although no one really likes her. But yeah, from me to you, to your families, look after yourself, and I'll see you guys in the next chapter. Love you all. Apart from Michi, nobody likes Michi.